Welcome to my chambers. Last week, we learned that a secret federal court secretly admonished the National Security Administration for spying on Americans in violation of federal law and in violation of the Constitution. How did that happen? Well, this is what happens when courts meet in secret. The Foreign Intelligence Surveillance Act, a 1977 statute, written in the aftermath of the excesses of the Watergate era, was supposed to limit all federal domestic spying to those approved by a warrant issued by a judge of the Foreign Intelligence Surveillance Court. But the Foreign Intelligence Surveillance Court is so secret that even the judges who are on the court can't take any records out of the courthouse, and they are frisked when they enter the courthouse and when they leave. This secrecy leads to a lack of transparency, and it leads to bizarre rulings because the rulings are not subject to public scrutiny. As well, in this court, only lawyers for the Justice Department and the NSA appear. There's no witnesses or lawyers to resist them. As a result of this bizarre constitutional novelty, the FISA court has granted 99.9% of all applications made before it by the NSA. But even that wasn't good enough for the NSA. So NSA leaders persuaded President George W. Bush to impose a weird interpretation on an executive order issued by President Ronald Reagan, the bottom line of which permitted the NSA to operate outside the domain of the FISA court without any warrant, whether secret or otherwise, and to spy on everybody all the time for everything. Now, when people say to you, I have nothing to hide and I don't care if the government spies on me, you need to think of the Susan Rice, Michael Flynn lesson. Susan Rice was President Barack Obama's national security advisor. In that position, she had the right to access raw intelligence data. The copies of all emails, text messages, and transcripts of telephone conversations between and among everybody in the United States. She targeted General Michael Flynn when he was advising then Mr. and later President-elect Donald Trump. She got her hands on his emails and her hands on the transcripts of his telephone conversations and decided what she would reveal in order to harm him politically. That is a dangerous state of affairs for democracy. Dangerous when the government can release intelligence data for political purposes. Dangerous when people allow the government in a free society where the government works for us, we don't work for it, to spy on us at will. As well, when the government spies on everybody all the time and gathers everything about everyone, it's information overload. It's too much information for the government to sift through. So tragedies like Orlando and San Bernardino and even Manchester in England, where the NSA does spy, will happen. And the spies won't examine the information that they have until after these tragedies. If the whole purpose of spying is to prevent the tragedies, if it's to weed out those who would impair national security, we now know that it doesn't work. Welcome to my chambers. Fight the good fight.